All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. It's Crossfire with Dakwani Shoma. And we have a guest in the studio who will be definitely assisting in throwing more lights to some of the issues we will be raising on the show today. He's not on the person, but a political analyst is a chartered accountant, not a scattered accountant, but a chartered accountant. And I respect his analysis. So every time we have all the issues, we like to reach out to him, to come help us, talk about some of these issues. Let's meet Alesta Wilcox. I mean, good to have you on the show.
Well, nice being here. It's nice to be here in a very
lovely jacket.
Thank you. In a very wet school.
It's only on Wazobia Max and Wazobia TV that we take very serious matters lightly. And we still pass comments,
It's tense enough out there.
Exactly. Because it's hot at home, it's hot everywhere.
And I think it's only Wazobia TV that can bring me out of my house for this cold, wet Friday morning when I should still be,
you should just...
I mean, love for country and love for the game.
Yes, and all of that. Now
yeah.
there's a lot of game show. But before we start talking fully about the game, we'd like on this show to dedicate our show today to a very quick and possible recovery of the #1 Nigerian goalkeeper, and that is the person of Carl Ikeme. He was diagnosed of having acute leukemia, and that is a blood cancer. And as at yesterday, information in the public domain is that it's starting a chemotherapy to help, assist in a quick recovery process for him. And so our show this morning is dedicated to Carl Ikeme, and our prayers are with you and the family.
Certainly.
And every other person that you represent, that God will intervene and give you a very, astonishing and miraculous recovery from whatever ailment or sickness that is in your body. And we pray that testimony will abound. That's our prayer.
And we say amen to that.
And we say real amen to that. And Carl is fortunate to be in an environment where the medical facility is top-notch and they can take care of a lot of things. They can diagnose on time, they can discover the issues, and they can tackle it.
And we also hope the NFF can also consider having medical insurance
for
everybody,
and then
on this show
we also in the country begin to also pay serious attention at the local government, state, federal level on our healthcare facilities.
All right.
Sincerely, we're not there. We're not even near there.
Okay.
We're not near there.
All right. Without holding back, at the same time, we would like to pair the dedication with the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, who is recovering also in the United Kingdom. And it's 60 days that our president has been off sick, and we don't even have information as to what is the state of his health. But notwithstanding, we wish our president, President Muhammadu Buhari, a quick recovery at the same time.
And we say a big amen
to that also. Yeah. All right. Now, on Crossfire this morning, we'll quickly take, take one or two few and short comments on some of the stories that are making headlines. Acting President orders security agencies to maintain peace in Cross River State. This, we can't talk so much about it. In Yala local government area, there was a mayhem. A lot of lives have been lost and properties being, destroyed. And it's just, the dimension of my coming to, to want you to make a comment on this story is to, where is safe in Nigeria?
Sincerely, nowhere. We have found ourselves in a cul-de-sac of insecurity that we begin to wonder what is happening. And moreover, this particular incident, it's a self-inflicted one. Is it intertribal now or a tribal?
It's tribal.
Mayhem. But you see, beyond that, the most annoying part of it for me is the fact that our social media, our commentators are not agog with what's happening in Yala. Over 100 lives, according to reports, has been lost in Yala and its environment. And the social media there's no comment on it. Is it because it was not a Fulani herdsmen issue? Is it that when it happens in the south, when we kill ourselves in the south, it's normal? We don't even. It's okay. But the moment it's one Fulani herdsmen issue that kills 1-2 persons,
the whole country, happening.
The whole country, the whole country goes agog. Why are we hypocritical in addressing serious national issues. You know, so this Yala thing, I just read it on just snippets on no pictures. If it is Fulani herdsmen issue, then you see gory pictures and everything.
Even
and
videos.
Videos will emanate. River State has been a Golgotha all this while. Anambra State, the same thing. There was a time it was like, and we just play it down here as if those are not humans, or as if it is normal for us to kill ourselves.
Almost on everyday basis, like
for us to kill ourselves.
Even in Lagos,
you know, so
in the
we must
corridor.
Exactly, in the Ikorodu corridor. We must bring these things to the fore, no matter where it happens, so that we know that we are running a country, not being segmented, not being hypocritical about one part of the country or the other, or one part of incident to the other incident. This is genocide, where two communities are at each other's throat, the same people, the same language, the same local government, they're at each other's throat, and they are burning, maiming, killing, destroying with machete, with guns and everything. And we are not condemning it, and we are not raising this issue before. We just gloss over it because there is Fulani herdsmen issue. I don't think we're being right to this
also. I mean, if you look at the country, I mean, our amalgamation of different tribes, different communities, history has it that various communities have been having these communal clashes dating over 300 years, yes, like the case of the Southern Cardinal crisis. Yes. My community in Delta State, frequently 2 years, 3 years periodically, do have conflicts with another community.
Exactly.
It doesn't go on social media. Nobody talks about it. Unfortunately, even the State House in Delta State, unfortunately, do not do anything about it. Just as this is also happening in Cross River State. Now,
and they'll bury it down.
Of course, it always goes.
In River State,
people always die.
But
the issue now is, you look at countries like Rwanda that also experience genocide, issues as this, communal issues, but we've seen how they've taken a step ahead to resolving it. Peace and strategic studies blossomed in those countries. Yes. They do a lot, they spend a lot, they engage the people a lot in making sure communal clashes like this are ended, resolved, not buried under the ground. But you look at the country today, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
And we all look at the federal government, but then what role does the local government and the state play in resolving this?
Because persons are not punished. We don't consider lives for us means nothing.
We're excessively, sentimental about
life to us means nothing, and that is why over 100 people, houses, properties will be destroyed.
But Alesta, in the beginning, it was not so.
It was not so because
people
are punished. People are punished.
It has always been so.
Tribal conflict has been there. Tribal conflict has always been there. But what happens after every war? After every situation, there is always that negotiated peace settlement. That is at the communal level. That is before civilization takes. But now let me tell you now. Most of these conflicts are embedded on politics.
I don't want to know. Back in the day, it used to be boundaries.
Yes.
Back in the days, it used to be boundaries.
This
place belongs to us, and you are encroaching.
Yes.
And so,
cultural
in the bid to be able, cultural
differences.
I would say cultural differences.
I think it has to
do with mainly it has to do with most of the conflicts is land related.
Yeah, I mean the issue on Bakassi.
For example,
Bakassi, there's a lot of killings.
Okay.
But you see why it is taking this alarming direction, because I can tell you, politics play a lot of role. Because a lot of the politicians have inflated everything, in that even the traditional institutions that have the moral suasion, the moral authority to rein in deviance are no longer having that power. Now, people no longer respect traditional institutions because one governor, one local government chairman can override and lord, and
because
money is
they
into
too
the game.
are also interested in political money. So they have lost the respect.
How did this high caliber ants
get into the hands
of people? Is it through the local man that is it through the Okada riders that are the foot soldiers? That's why certainly no. These arms and ammunitions come in through political systems, through the political institutions. And that's why I say the politicians are heavily involved in it. Now, I saw posted on one of the on one of the online media, a former councillor who carried an AK-47 and took pictures and boasting of his exploits in the war with an AK-47 rifle. Well guided.
Chairman local government.
Former a councillor in one of the wards.
Oh, okay, councillor.
So you discover that. So who are those who are doing these things? So the politicians have so much bastardized our environment. Politics is not a bad thing. Governance must take place. But the way we have allowed it to fester, and security agencies are so weak, very, very weak and compromising.
They are not even there at all. That's the point.
Let me say they are weak and compromising in most instances. in this constitution. But my pain is the fact that these things are not. We cover them up, and when you cover something, it will bound to resonate. We don't dig to the dupe, or we give it a different appellation, or we give it a different interpretation, or give it, in fact, a different coloration, and then the crime continues. And people are not brought to justice. We don't see lives as anything sacrosanct any longer. People, that's why everybody should be careful. Don't go and challenge anybody, because your own life is more, in fact, you should be more cautious about your own life, because it's so sacrosanct that the state cannot protect you if anything happens.
Now let's talk about a recent in capping this particular issue. In the Ikorodu area of Lagos State has been in a very bad state over time.
Yes.
And the last one that happened just a stone throw from where I live at Owode Bridge. And it's so very unfortunate, that they went through the backside of the church in question, and they went in there and killed people. 2 children, 1 woman. The 4th person, we don't even have any information if she survived it or not. Now, the challenge I have is that all of this is happening after Governor Akinwumi Ambode of Lagos State launched what we call the Neighborhood Watch. Now, if in our immediate environment, and these are people who have been given vehicles, fantastic vehicles and well-branded vehicles, and yet we still cannot see the effect of the Neighborhood Watch. I wonder what they are.
Dapper, God bless you. Let me say, Dapper, God bless you for that. You see, when we come on national television as analysts, and the only thing we'll talk about is restructuring state police, and the only argument is that it is only the man that is close to the environment that will know the terrain. You just mentioned it. The investment in this so-called wasted, misdirected Neighborhood Watch, for me, is an investment that has gone down the drain. I saw their cars.
Can't even feel them.
I see their cars.
Feel them.
Beautifully made cars. And in fact, sometimes I used to confront, like at the time, twice I've confronted on this Custom Bridge, when they are driving so recklessly in the night, and I told them this car is branded and it should have your responsibility. The money invested in procuring this car, you should have responsibility over it, not to treat us. Now, the man that has been responsible for busting every of the kidnap cases in this country is from Borno State. Anybody that is major kidnap cases, he's been deployed. He's not from he caught advance. He's not from Lagos. So that argument is baseless, that except you have a state police, that people from locality know themselves. There is high level of compromise. The Neighborhood Watch has proven to be
it's a wasted investment.
As a test pilot, it's wasted because you don't know. There's going to be 10. There's going to be 10 recruits in every ward. 10 recruits in every ward, and no patrol, no information, nothing.
And they live in the community. So the issue now is, are they part of the criminal? Because
they could be compromised.
That's what people are
also saying.
They could be compromised.
If the Neighborhood Watch, initiative has not achieved anything, because as far as I'm concerned, then state policing, what will happen?
It's very, very useless.
It's implemented. It cannot work.
Nothing, because.
All states are waiting for Lagos State to probably launch, and then
if you're saying state police now, that means you now rob yourself of the capacity of those that will have come from other parts to complement you. Exactly. You now take your own local boys, local environment that knows themselves, and then the ballet, the king knows each other. How can a DPO from Ikorodu, whose father knows the Oba knows the father and everybody knows everybody, and somebody influencer commits a crime, and they tell me how he can be prosecuted?
How?
When we just with a phone call, that's what you hear.
And another thing about it,
but if the foreigner that is not from that area, he will ensure, even if it has influence, that influence will be smaller, to the point that he will be able to discharge his duty. So
provided
the way CIA and IFB work, how come when they want to investigate a criminal, they do not use, the best that they do is to talk to people who are living in the environment to get more information. But they deploy somebody who is totally neutral. It's not known. You can't identify with him.
You
He just
cannot-
comes around.
You
when
can't
he's
even,
passing,
you
he's
can't even
passing like an
influence him.
ordinary
You
person.
can't even influence him
You can't
directly.
influence him directly.
But not the one that can use a phone call and call a council meeting and say, Fiammo, leave him and just let him go.
I mean,
So in
we
that
need
case,
we need a proper orientation about ourselves, and the citizens' security awareness must come up. We are too laid back security-wise. Even people who drive on the road.
Yeah.
All the boys
Even
in my
whoever
area
knows.
are out on the street now on everyday basis since the last incident.
Okay.
And to a very large extent, I mean, we have been paying taxes to them. I mean, last night I was going back home. I was accursed, and they told me we need to buy tires. The tires that we are burning, we need to buy tires. We need to buy this, and I'm like, I mean, can you imagine? Now, if you are living in the Lagos state and its environ, we would like to know if the neighborhood watch initiative is working in your environment. Peradventure, particularly people who are living in the Ikorodu corridor, maybe from mile 12 way into Ikorodu, because I mean we were not expecting anything in Owodewe Bridge until we were visited by the Bado, and they killed people.
So close.
It simply means they are in town.
I want to say that the governor has good intentions. He has invested so much in security. In essence of 4 billion naira has been invested in provision of cars.
Now, Alesta, there's another dimension. There's another dimension to the security, to the states of security in Lagos. Sorry that we're taking a lot of time, but this information needs to be out there. The 6 people that were adopted at the Igbonla Secondary School in Ekpe, they are not out yet. In almost 50 days. Yeah. Yesterday was the first time the state government issued a statement that they will be back in one piece. Peradventure, there's a negotiation going on or something. But, I mean, you can imagine, the kidnappers came up at a point to say 2 of these children are very sick. Peradventure, they were not sick. They just wanted a quick response or something. And I think the state government, too, does not want to lure them, or encourage them by responding in good time to almost every of their demands. Yes. And at the end of the day, we are leaving people, at a very big risk.
No,
how are we so sure?
But gentlemen,
that shows we are all a sitting duck.
But there is something also now. Some days ago, the National Assembly, they were complaining on how we have, soldiers, military personnel out there on the street doing supposedly domestic services, which ordinarily the police should. But apparently, Nigerians do not feel safe and do not trust the police themselves. That's why we have resorted to that situation where we now have military officers who should defend the territory of the country coming in to perform local security services. Now, look at the Corridor Acts. Don't you think, I'm just thinking now, do you think, knowing how well the military and paramilitary agencies, they gather information, security information, top-notch, beautiful, decent, and how they're sweeping. Don't you think if we can make a case for them to step into the corridor access, and let's say the security?
The bunkering in the corridor.
Do you think it will work?
The capacity of the police, really, we understand, is quite low and quite weak. And successively, they're not trying to improve on it. It's rather sad and unfortunate. There are very good police officers, very good ones when it comes to certain areas. But again, when you have majority of the people just taking policing as a get along job, as a means and end, they begin to know what is it. Now, I wouldn't subscribe to the point that the military should sit in the barracks when there is no war, there is nothing to talk about, and they just sit in the barracks and go to their office and clap hand and sing and dance and march. No, there are issues on ground for which. If their capacity is required at this point, if their expertise, if their skills are required at this time, I think they are Nigerians. This issue of kidnapping should be a top-notch issue. And it saddens me that in Lagos, yes, we know that they're not able to police, but in today that we have Google Map, today that you have technology, I'm not sorry, I'm an accountant, I don't know anything about security, but from my little knowledge of what is happening in the world today, we have Google Maps, we have trackers of telephones and everything. Yeah. And we keep hearing that these things the police has been giving. Governor Bode bought a lot of equipment for the police. Are we saying that within the radius of Lagos? Yes, these children, for all they care, they may not be within Lagos. I understand that through the waterways, you can get as far as Bayelsa.
You can get out of the country.
So they may not be in Lagos, apparently. But the fact is, now it has taken 50 days. It's just now becoming to be like the case of the Chibok girls. Now, and the shout is not even still much in the social media. There's not much.
Everybody is quiet.
The chef is not
Everybody
there.
is quiet about it as if nothing
has happened.
Is it because it's not directly? We are not directly connected.
But a lot of people are more concerned doing religious challenge.
Maybe because it is not a high wire politics. They're not seeing politics played in it. They're not seeing PDP, APC, Buhari doing that and playing in it. They're not seeing maybe all this, what they call this thing now, something theory, all this conspiracy theory being played in it. That is why they're not. So people are not attributing all those things that they attribute to Chibok institution. 6 boys is bad enough to have stayed in the hands of kidnappers for 50 days. And even your TV station, you are guilty. Or you know what? I've never seen snippets of that. If it is in the other part of the world, the CNN crew, a BBC crew, it will be in that place, giving daily report and daily analysis. It's a serious matter.
To put pressure.
Let us take life serious. All this paparazzi of every time TV will spend after we finish program now, it will be music till when another serious program comes in across all the TV channels. Please, let us take real broadcasting serious and highlight issues that need to be highlighted and make sure that these things are in the front burner. 50 days and the social media is weak, is not agog with what is happening. Maybe just 1 or 2 persons.
People are just taking pictures and posting on Instagram.
So let us get serious as a nation and do things that other people do that we copy. We will say tomorrow, when in the US or in America. But the things they do that bring results, we don't do them.
All right. Okay, we'll quickly go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be basically addressing an issue. The power tussle, the National Assembly versus the executive. We'll be right back after now. All right, we're back, and thanks for staying with us. Crossfire continues. I'm still very much here. Dapo Banjo is my name. Ishoma Againe is in the studio. And we have Alesta, Wilcox as our guest on the show. Yeah. Now, the power tussle, I mean, there's a lot going on between the legislative arm of government and the executive arm of government. One very loud one is the very recent one is the position of the executive, or let me say the acting president of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, saying, Magu stays. There is an office, a state office of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission being opened in Kaduna yesterday, and the vice president was duly represented by the honorable governor, the executive governor of the state, in the person of Nass El-Rufai. And he read, the account of what the president or the acting president is saying. Magu stays, whether the National Assembly likes it or not. Now, we have another very major issue going on in the executive, where Abubakar Malami is saying that what the vice acting president said, it's not, a representation of the position of the executive, about what is happening in the National Assembly, and we have that, still ongoing. We have the recall of Dino Melaye, and that, the court stalled it yesterday because the proceedings were stopped, and it said, okay, let's maintain status quo till September. For me, that is going to give both parties, and particularly Dino Melaye, the senator representing Kogi West, more time, to consolidate and do all that he can do in terms of gymnastics to make sure that this does not go. Because I know that, do you know why I'm so very positive about this recall, if it happens? Power has finally been given back to the electorate. Oh yes, power returns back fully to the electorate. If this happens, if we succeed in recalling one member of the National Assembly, trust me, you will see a lot of them, a lot of things happening. Exactly. Now, I mean, there is so much ado, about so many things. This one is not about nothing, because there are issues, that we are dealing with in the National Assembly and the executive arm of government. I thought that the 5th, the 6th, the 7th Assembly had peace, had issues. But the 8th Assembly that had a similitude of peace and orderliness, even though it was characterized by a lot of anomalies at the beginning. We thought by now they should consolidate and then focus on governance. But what exactly is happening? Why this so much power to
The 8th Assembly, especially with the Senate,
yeah,
is the weakest link in terms of delivery of democracy in this government. Personal ambition. Saraki is quite ambitious. He wants to be the president of Nigeria. So that is obviously clear.
You know, how has that been able? I mean, how have been? We don't have a lot of information in the public domain to champion that.
People can choose to say name withheld. They don't want to make. Me, I'm not in that.
Or you're looking at body language.
The body language, the head language, the financial language, the terrorist language, every language that you can speak about. I mean, it's obviously clear. That is the game plan of a young man. And if a man that could defy his party and then make friends with the enemy of the party in order to achieve his ambition of being the Senate president.
They can go.
So
what can he not do much more than that?
The man that has to even destroy his own father's legacy. The father
but is that substantial enough to show that he's ambitious?
The father that made him what he is, and at the twilight of the man's life, Bukola Saraki was the one that destroyed it and make the father look like an ordinary person. So who again in Nigeria can he not want to?
And this is somebody who engaged in a standstill battle with his younger sister.
Yes,
playing politics in Kwara State.
From his father, the father supported the sister, and he stood and did everything, destroyed the father's legacy, and destroyed the sister, the family. So he is a man that, if he can do that to his father, and I'm saying international television,
he has a history of desperation.
Of desperation, and he has the financial muscle. He has played the game. The father played it to a level, and then he has taken it from that level, and he's championing it very, very far. So you can be sure that is quite a dangerous situation we have in our hands. Now, he has been able to corner the Senate, especially the renegade faction of the APC. Remember, the APC, the Senate was the APC itself is a party that came out of exigency. There was a lot of and I tell you the truth. Even I have said it when Bukola Saraki was part of the people coming. I look at it. What value was he bringing? Kwara. What's the value of Kwara that was going to bring to APC? And that was where the APC got it wrong at that time. Yes, they are looking for every opportunity to get.
But it was not the Hyde candidate anyway. Don't forget that it wasn't actually, pictured for that particular seat.
No, but yes, that's what I'm telling you. You see, there are people that they should have kept at bay in the formation of the party. But of course, they wanted everybody because they wanted the objective there was to get the PDP out of power. So they needed every hands to be on deck. But at the same time, after the election, that is where they got it wrong. And then the president, wanting not to be accused what OBG and other people did, he felt we can run responsibly.
But if he had interfered, do you think we'll be where we are today?
No, if he had interfered and insisted on the choice of the party to be the leadership of the National Assembly, we wouldn't be where we are today. There would have been a seemingly smooth run. Of course, we saw what happened in the other senates, especially in the David Mark era, when David Mark had a well-run Senate. In fact, the House of Rep was even the school, according to Passenger them, the school boys club. They were the more radical, but the Senate was a more matured, a more focused, a more progressive
business mind
arm of the National Assembly. That is maturity. That is a man that has no inordinate ambition. So, but in this case, we're having a man that has ambition and he can do anything to rock the boat. So that is where we are. Now, talking about Mago or no Mago, look, the Assembly has its points. I'm not relenting on their own point. They do have their own point. What stopped people from coming together? They've been holding meetings upon meetings. What stopped people from coming together? Look, gentlemen, we're an example. How do we go forward? America does it. Lobbying is part of democracy. The standard, and that's why I say even the
provided it doesn't include changing money.
Of course. In this there's no change of money. That's why you're finding what is happening today. No change of money. The Italian is not doing a good job. Italian is supposed to be the liaison officer for the Senate. He's not doing a good job at all. Maybe the job is over, or he's incompetent, or he doesn't have the clout to be able to do what is expected of him to do. as far as liaising and creating that favorable working environment within the Senate and the executive. It seems that the House of Rep is more stable and more relaxed other than the Senate.
Yeah, do you think that there are ambitious people in the Federal Executive Council? I mean, because in recent times, we've been able to see a crossfire, even within the Federal Executive Council and the acting president.
Yes,
you know.
I think the unfortunate thing with that, and like we prayed at the beginning of the program, let's pray that the president gets well and come back. I say in all this myths about the governance of the Buhari is the standing out point. Now, when he comes in, the more he comes in, everybody seems to want to find their level because they know...
Or to please him.
Not to please him, to find their level. Right now, there is some form of lacuna.
I stand 50. To be... Sorry to interject. I stand to be corrected.
Yes.
I don't... Do you think the absence of President Muhammadu Buhari is causing any problem?
No, it's not.
Is there a vacuum?
No,
is
it's
there
not supposed to cause any
really?
problem. Right now,
yes.
What is happening is the fact that what we have is an acting president.
Yeah.
When you are acting, your powers are not total.
Okay.
Now, can he fire a minister?
Why not?
I don't know.
Why not?
Can he reject the cabinet? I don't know.
No, but I mean, but no, administratively speaking,
yes.
When you are in an acting capacity, it simply means you have been bestowed with the power of being able to act in that office. Maybe not absolutely.
That's what I was saying.
Maybe not absolutely.
Now you can take certain issues, you can take certain decisions, but there are some other far-reaching decisions that your principal has taken, so that also your own ambition does not conflict with that because your principal is still there.
Yes.
He's still there.
Yes.
He's not yet out of the system. He's still there. So you must also guide your actions and inactions so as when he comes back, he's satisfied with the job you have done. So all this bickering, and that's why I'm so surprised when I was seeing Malami reeling out those things. I don't know if they discussed that in the Executive Council for him to talk about. I don't know if it's a part of damage control. I want to be on the side of caution, believe that Malami had the authority of the Executive Council
to be able to
say what he said in an attempt to have a damage control for the situation that the impasse that has been created. But if that is not the case, then that would be quite unfortunate. Does Malami has the power to tell the world that the acting president was speaking on his own?
No, but I would
that it was his opinion and it's not representing
that
the...
That again, I am not in Aso Rock. I've not spoken to the vice president before or the acting president. I've not had anything around Aso Rock. But the fact is, I'm looking at it from my own weak point of view here. If it is as damage control, excellent, perfectly all right. They must try to palliate things. But if it's as a result of somebody wanting to undermine the other person's power, then the acting president has enough capacity and power to put him on suspension.
I want to look at something here. Okay. Something probably different from what, I mean, yes, like you mentioned that the Senate president is someone who is ambitious, but also, I mean, because all of this brouhaha in the Senate seems to come from the fact that Ibrahim Magu is still acting as the EFCC chairman. True or false?
True.
Now, I look at the constituents of the Senate. We have the bulk of them ex-governors, individuals who still have cases pending in court, allegation of fraud or one misappropriation or the other, or even individuals who are wanted criminals outside the countries, NDLE and co and the rest of those. And we look at the acting president. He is a lawyer. He is a senior advocate of the country. He is a disciplined, principled person who wants the rule of law to prevail. Now, could it be also that some of the senators have wind that, look, this man is ready to ensure that the anti-corruption fight goes head on and works? Maybe that's the reason why they say, look, before we allow this man the acting president and the EFCC chairman have their way and come for us, let us cause some problem.
I think some of your point, it's valid. But more importantly is to look at it from this angle. The vice president, like you rightly said, is someone that you give it to when it comes to law. Now, here 100%. Is someone who at some point in time looked at some bills and it says, hey, this is poorly written, and I'm not going to assent this.
Exactly.
I'm not going to, appendix my signature on this document except it's reworked. Now they understand.
That in
They
itself was a
understand
slap to
perfectly.
them.
Exactly. They understand perfectly that the vice president is not somebody you really want to push around. When it comes, he knows his onions and he understands how these things run. Unfortunately, I'm beginning to feel that everybody seems to be underestimating the political capacity of the vice president.
Well, I think people should also not understand, not lose the fact that the vice president seems to enjoy a lot of support from the president. They've had a very good working relations, and they seem to be perfect soulmates. So he has a lot of
Goodwill.
Capital for the president himself. Now, also don't forget that the vice president is also from the camp of one of the master strategists of politics.
And don't forget the conspiracy on social media
and
that
the
the
Jagaban himself is still very
cabal on social media. Social media is awash with the fact that the cabal do not want that to happen.
No, I don't know. I don't
do you think that's true?
The fact is there are power play. There are a lot of power play, and that is what is the bane of governance in the country: power play. Rather than us face governance, we are always facing politics, even after elections are over. We still face politics because the politician is not thinking of next generation, he's always thinking of the next election.
Yes.
How to outwit each other. If not, Saraki will not be doing what he's doing. If not the fact that they are looking for how the permutations, the combinations, some of them are wishing themselves evil and death, not the president. Some of them are wishing themselves and their families evil. They can't wish the president because the president, by God's will, leave and will complete his tenure. He will choose not to continue. So whatever thing they are wishing themselves, that is their headache. So everybody are looking at that permutation. That permutation and that combinations. So, and that is the bane of our governance. I think for me, everybody should look at Nigeria as a project. What is the best way for this country? You're a senator for 4 years. For goodness sake, after 4 years, you have a right of re-election, but your people may not re-elect you. And that takes me to what's happening with Dino Melaye. Dino Melaye's record, and I agree with what you said. If I will pray it, and not because I hate Dino or I don't have, I have issues against Dino, but because the people's power must be seen to have returned back to the people, in that they can exercise, because right now the governors are under the mercy of the State Assembly.
Okay, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning, Thompson.
Good morning, Mr. D.
How are you today?
Good morning.
I'm very fine. Good Friday, everybody.
All right, talk to us.
Thompson,
Sorry, if you could check very well, it's been a while. I said something the other day around. I said even the issue of CCTV. I've been talking about judiciary for a very long time. I told the other time, I said, I know personally that Raki is going to win this case. Even this very interpretation of 174, all those ones, if they should go to Supreme, Mr. Dapo, write it down again. It's going to come up in the next 2 weeks. They are going to override the executive. I know that one for sure. That's why you see most all those honorables. They will simply tell you, let's go to court. I think it's just like their family party. They know they surely win the case. So at the end of the day, now, the actual president now have to he have stood and we have to stand by him. We are the one to help this man now, the masses. I'm serious. I'm going to see what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. They don't have power. We elected, all of us, generally in the whole 36 states, elected or selected the president and the vice president. Why all those reps come from their constituency? So you don't have power to overrule he is the chief commander in every arms of government. So you're supposed to respect that very man. Is it because they call him acting president? Doesn't mean that the man didn't know what he's doing. We're going to see what is going to happen. Good morning.
Thank you, Thompson.
Thank you very much, Thompson.
The people's power is very, very key. And the unfortunate thing is that the people, the populace and the electorate are so weak. They see themselves as never do well, at the mercy, whims and caprices of the so-called...
But is that not the true picture? Is that not exactly
because you collected bread, some of them laced with juju and everything. I just saw now on my WhatsApp, somebody sent this senatorial election coming up in Osun State.
Osun State, yeah.
The PDP candidate, bread, labeled bread, to be given to people. And people are collecting and eating. Bread. Ordinary loaf of bread, agege bread.
Yeah, that's to tell you the level of poverty in the land.
Look,
they are not poor.
These are not poor. Poverty is your mindset. Every day we keep saying the poor man, the poor man, the poor masses. Do you know that? Some of these so-called poor masses that you're talking about, these Okada riders, but they make more money than you.
They are even living in their houses.
Living in their houses.
Yeah.
My mechanic that I used to have that always complain, nothing. The other time say, I just finished my house, so. And me, I'm still paying rent.
And you would have dashed
and then you will be saying,
you would have been dashing
of
him.
course, I do. Of course, every day we come on TV. The poor masses cannot eat. The poor masses cannot eat. All these people that are collecting bread. Are you saying that bread is what is their life?
But they are the poorest of the poorest.
They are not the poorest of the poorest.
No,
they are the poorest of the poorest.
Do
you know even
and most times those are the ones that fall victim.
Most
times when it's election year,
it's not the poorest of the poorest.
They are the ones they pay
It is
to cause mayhem.
It is even the middle class. All these other boys you see on the standard to show you collecting money from. Do you know how much they make in a day?
But you
are they poorest of the
think
poorest?
That money is theirs?
No. Most of them is not theirs.
Exactly.
But they are not
the
money. They have
but
their
it's not
own
their
court.
money.
They not their money, but they have their own
get
court.
a lot
Do you know
out of
that?
it.
And a Okada man can make more than your salary in a week. Look, so let us be factual. All these people that sells corn on the roadside. Do you know how much profit on each of the corn? Take a bag of corn. Somebody roasting a bag of corn. Yeah, it may be small, but you know how much it makes. These people sell like bow on their head. Some of them, their children are in private schools. So Nigerians should stop this mentality of the poor. The poor cannot feed. People cannot feed. It is psychological, mental psychology. So how
do we eventually
by
get
us telling
the
them the truth every
Okay.
time we come on national TV?
Okay.
We tell them the truth. Let us not dance by the whims and caprices of these people and keep impoverishing their mentality. Let us build their mentality and tell them, look, you are better off than this, you are that. There's a bar near my house. Every evening, all the Okada riders, the Keke riders, they will come there with girls and everything. They will spend and every evening. In fact, we've tried to relocate them out of that place. We could not because they are so powerful. The girl sells nothing less than 300,000 naira every evening. They start by 4 o'clock till 10 o'clock. And who are those that protect this place? The so-called downtrodden that cannot feed themselves. They drink Hennessy, they drink in that place. That is stark reality. I know there are people who are poor, like the salary earners whose income are fixed.
Yeah.
But we don't look at those ones as the poor. We look at the Keke people, at the poor. So we must begin to change the narrative.
So how can we resolve quickly, the issue in the Nass
and the National Assembly
the Nass and the Senate? I think
what's the way forward?
The party is weak.
Okay.
The party is very, very weak, and that's also why I didn't like what El-Rufai said. That is adding more fuel into the whole fire. Yes, Magu will stay, but there must be a negotiated way out of it. Not to jeopardize or compromise the power of the president to appoint, as they have encapsulated in Section 72, at 72 or so of the Constitution, where the president has the power to appoint certain class without the National Assembly. Will that override Section 2 of the EFCC Act, which is bigger? So and the president has said,
but Section 2 and 3 of the EFCC Act actually.
But the EFCC Act is
exactly.
gone from.
but the acting president have said, go to the Supreme Court.
But the Nigerian Constitution, 171 2D,
yes,
it's enshrining it.
Yes.
That they can. They've read it through. Through and through.
It depends on the legal advice. That they said the
okay, they should go to Supreme Court for interpretation.
They have told them. The president said, go to Supreme Court and get an interpretation. We are convinced in our position. If you are doubting our position, go and get an interpretation.
But then why?
We'll go with
in the initiative, in a way of probably
could it be why Malame is trying to dissociate himself from the comment or the statement of the vice president?
It's how competent is Malame in the first instance?
The executive can also proceed to the Supreme Court.
If
they
want
can.
to go,
but it's the
no, they can. If don't
they
to
can.
Who will go is Malame.
At this point, yes.
If
At
don't
this
to
point,
who will go is Malame. So can Malame is I'm not undermining his capacity.
He's not the one to
But
enter proceeding.
Malame,
They have a legal counsel. They have a legal team.
But he's the one that should talk. He's the one that should take the action.
On behalf of the executive.
How come is it to take such action? And what is his belief? Is he aligning himself with the government or aligning himself with the National Assembly? You must know where somebody stands. And that is the problem that we have in this country. We just pick people anywhere. We don't know their leaning. We don't know what are they for green? Are they for gay? We just have a people of people that have no characteristics, no agenda, no.
Okay. Because we have to go. Do you see this problem resolved anytime soon?
It's already been resolved because the issue is that the National Assembly knows really well that this is a fight they can't win.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Alesta, Wilcox, and thanks, Ishoma. All right, this is how far we can go this week. Don't forget, Crossfire is aired live on Thursdays and on Fridays. And this is how far we can go on the episode.
And of course, yes, they can watch on YouTube.
Oh, yes. I mean, after now, you can follow us on YouTube.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.